Wrap up the work week with one more day of the heat advisory, but already noticeable changes. Number one, the advisories not as widespread as what they were from Monday all the way through Thursday. And number two, how about a little cloud cover, a welcome sight? And no, it won't bring us hardly any rain here, whether it be today or over the weekend. It is an indicator that at least every now and then that sun gonna duck behind it a little bit. 89 degrees is where we stand over 7th and Range Line, feeling like 97 right now though, as we really have had a gorgeous, gorgeous Friday morning. Our temperatures put us anywhere in between, say 87 and 91. And look at the south arrows coming in right there. And it's starting to pick up a little bit. We're going 15 miles per hour outside, gusting up to 20 a little bit later on. Now the humidity could be much, much worse. We're starting to see that recede up toward the Great Lakes, but eventually we're going to have it replaced with some Gulf moisture. There's a look, there's a look at our counties that are under the heat advisory. Now, instead of it stretching all the way down to the Gulf like it had, we now have it stretching east to the Ohio River Valley. And so that's not a bad thing in and of itself. And the fact that as far as the Midwest goes, we've been able to back those off. But there are the increased winds as we now see double digits. And so we're feeling like, say mid to high 90s right now, and end up probably around 101. From that national perspective, here's where all the thunderstorm activity has remained for the past 3 days, up through portions of Minnesota, Iowa, and now Wisconsin. They've got flood warnings abound. Of course, we see it right there on that boundary where the cold front meets that warmer air. And then as we transition down to the south, okay, look at that thing right there hanging over Cuba. That happens to be Tropical Storm Ida. Let me amend that. In the past 10 minutes, we have now become Hurricane Ida. When we just checked in with it during first weather, it was still a tropical storm. It has now been upgraded to a Category 1 hurricane, battering the western coast of Cuba, where they have torrential rains and flooding that will also cause mudslide in that mountainous region. Now that we have a hurricane on our hands, time to fast forward through the weekend, because what we're anticipating are the conditions to be ripe for this to intensify once it gets over Cuba and into the Gulf, anywhere from a Category 2, even a Category 3 there, as it makes landfall west of New Orleans. Now we're looking at this late Sunday into early Monday morning as far as landfall goes, and then pushing up into portions of the southeastern United States. But as you can tell, that swath that it encompasses as far as Ida goes is going to push some of that Gulf moisture our way as well. Right now, they've got storm surge warnings and hurricane warnings already in effect for the entire Gulf Coast area. Let's wrap up our Friday, and then we'll push into the weekend and talk a little bit more about Ida. Mid-90s, 99, 102, somewhere in there. Those heat advisories, they expire at 7 p.m. Warm overnight, mostly clear skies, and the wind will kind of die down on us. Just pops of green are all we see. Certainly nothing sustained, but the cloud cover is going to help us for the next several days, as we'll be in the low 90s for Saturday and Sunday. Now, let's talk Sunday into Wednesday, because as Ida sweeps in, look at all the rain that begins in the southeastern portion of the United States, and from Sunday into Monday, it is actually forced up our way. And so that's going to be number one, our best shot for next bouts of rain. And I know that while we'll be thinking about the Gulf and the flooding there, we do need the rain. Also too, Tanya, some cooler temperatures there as we get through our first full week of September.
All right, well, we'll get there. We'll get there, temperatures will cool down, and we'll start wishing it was hot again. But I'm not saying that yet.
If you like to geek out weather-wise, like I said, it's going to be all eyes on the Gulf Coast throughout the weekend.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on Ida for sure.